Hi, good morning everybody, welcome back to my channel, Fishing AT. And today I'm back at beautiful Bossington. You might be able to hear the backwash in the background, hopefully you can hear me. It's Friday, 17th of March, St Patrick's Day. Also Cheltenham Gold Cup Day if you're a horse racer. But I'm not really, so won't be watching that this afternoon. But yeah, it's, what time is it? It's 20 to 12 in the morning. I've just driven down from Chepstow. And first casts are out, and we've got a 2:30 high tide, so it's about 3 hours to high tide, and it's not a very big tide. It's a neap tide. It's about 8.5 meters on Porlock, and low tide is about 4 meters, so it's about 4.5 meter rise, so not a big tide by Bristol Channel standards. I'm fishing a 3/0 pulley pennel, 4-foot pulley pennel on the left-hand rod with sandeel and squid, and on the right-hand rod I've got a 2/0 pulley pennel with rag and squid. And basically baits today, which I picked up from Real Fun Fishing in Portishead, I've got bluey, sandeel, squid, mackerel, ragworm, and I've also got some frozen ragworm as well. I think that's the full range of baits that I've got. Just nice to be out, so just hoping to catch something. There's a few other anglers on the beach further down towards Hurlstone Point, so I'm actually fishing relatively close to where the path joins the beach, actually on the Porlock side of the river, as the river comes at the back of Bossington on the pebble bank, if you know it. It comes through the stones. Normally I fish on the other side, but there's quite a few people fishing over there, so I'm actually fishing the Porlock side of that. And it's about a 1 kilometre walk from the car park this morning, so not too bad a walk. So fingers crossed for a nice day. There's quite a stiffish southerly wind blowing. Got my bivvy, so I'm out of the worst of it. There's also a few little rain showers blowing through. So but fingers crossed we might be able to get some fish on camera. I was just changing the bait for the first cast on the rag and squid, and there was a very small 3-bearded rockling on there. Beautiful little fish. Didn't see any bite or anything, typical. But well, that's a new species, I think, for me since COVID, and we're going to get him unhooked and put back in. So essentially the rigs I'm using today, just straightforward pulley pennel rigs, but I've got a rotten bottom arrangement on there with this clip and pin arrangement. You can buy them in tackle shops and online. Fishing a plain 6-ounce lead, because it's a neap tide, there's no real pull at all here. Get that untangled. Got a Gemini imp there, then that obviously the pulley hook clips onto. I always fish a link swivel to my imps, and then I've got about this one's got about 3 foot of 80-pound line. I've got a bead, a pulley bead, another bead, and then I've got 50-pound amnesia down to my pennel hooks. So it's got a bit of tubing on this one to hold it in tight, and then 2/0 big mouth extra Aberdeen hooks basically. So yeah, that rockling, nice surprise. I haven't caught a rockling certainly since I've been back from COVID. It's the first one I've caught, and I'd probably have to go back maybe 35 years since I caught my last one before that. So that's a nice little start. The blank is beaten, and he was quite hungry because he took 2 big lugworm and a chunk of squid on a 2/0 pulley pennel. If you've not fished Bossington before, it's a large expanse, pebble beach, big pebble bank. Looking sort of back towards Taunton and Bridgewater, eastwards basically along the north coast of Somerset. You've got Hurlstone Point there, and then just around the corner you've basically got Maidenhead, and then as you pan round the bay, Porlock Bay, you've got Porlock in the distance there, and then obviously off down the Somerset coast down towards Devon. Quite a large backwash today, even though the wind is coming over the top of the back of the pebbles here. It's obviously calm, but there's quite a big swell pushing in. So fishing quite high up, even though it's a neap tide. So the odd wave comes up a little bit further than you think. But a beautiful spot. If you've never fished here before, I thoroughly recommend you come down. Beautiful part of the world. If you love walking or just general sightseeing, some beautiful villages along the north coast as you come across from Bridgewater to Minehead, and some great little fishing venues as well. And the only problem is the road, the A39. Got stuck behind a big cement mixer this morning, so that made it a pretty arduous journey over. So to do the 30 miles or so from Bridgewater, it'll take you at least an hour probably if you get stuck in traffic. But a great part of the world. Love it down here, and it's actually nice to see some other anglers here as well. Just in the middle of a massive rainstorm, but hopefully you can see that beautiful, quite a low actually, rainbow over there. What a great little shot there over Hurlstone Point there. So fishing, I just had a snag, must have been my hook length snagged, so lost that trace on the left hand rod, so that was probably 60 yards out. So yeah, retied my leader, I lost everything, so I had to retie my leader and everything. So I had pre-measure my leaders, and I have them in my rig wallet, so with a clip on them already, so I just have to tie the knots, so I don't have to worry about measuring them out and all that sort of stuff. So it's a little time saving tip if you don't do that already. Just measure them out, and then I use tie wraps just to hold them secure. Just sheltering from another big rainstorm. I just wanted to say that I'd invested in a titanium cup. Cost me about 20 quid from Go Outdoors, and I just stick this straight onto my little gas camping stove, and I can have some nice soup, hot soup on the beach. So might be a bit costly for a mug, but saves having to lug a saucepan down if you want to make a cup of tea on a gas stove, or warm a bit of soup up. Stick it straight on. They're last a lifetime. They're good old titanium stuff. So yeah, my latest purchase, but don't tell my wife. Just got a bite on the right hand rod. It was the cast I just filmed, which I fluffed actually. The line somehow wrapped around the cage, so only went about half the distance it should have gone. There's a few little tap tap taps, something small just tapping away on there. Maybe that's the secret here, you chuck it short. Weather is closing in a little bit now. It's, wind's picked up a bit, and the rain is coming in big bands of showers. But obviously you can bring your bivvy here if you've got one, and plenty of pebbles to hold it down. So that's a good thing. We'll come back if this bite develops at all. Just going to bring this right hand rod in. There's something tapping away there, so let's bring it in and see what we got. Well, never been so glad to see a doggy. So fish there. Unfortunately he's taken it quite a way down, so I'll have to do a bit of surgery here to get this one out. But well, it's nice that we got something other than the Rockling. A welcome doggy. Let's get him unhooked and put back. I like London buses, you get one and then you get another one. So doggies and successive casts, very subtle bites, not the big rod tappers that sometimes you can get with dogfish, but very shy bites. Anyway, let's get him put back in. Since the last video, I've been out in Antigua. Some of you may have watched one of my earlier videos this year where I talked about my brother who was rowing across the Atlantic with another guy from Lanzarote to Antigua, and they finally arrived early March after 61 days. So I went out to Antigua just to welcome them in with a lot of other people, and I just wanted to say again, and I'll post the link in the notes of this video, is that my brother was raising funds for the RNLI and also Dan, his rowing partner, and to date they raised in excess of £11,000 for the RNLI. So as someone who enjoys being near the sea, and I'm sure you as well, if you'd like to consider donating to the Just Giving cause, then please do so. I'll put the link to that in the chat. Fantastic achievement. 61 days in a 23-foot rowing boat, purpose built obviously, but yeah, in excess of 3,000 standard land miles, and a lot of issues and breakages and problems along the way, and rough weather. So a fantastic achievement. Very proud of my elder brother, who's raised a lot of money for a very worthy cause. At the end of the video, after the outro, I'll put a little montage of a few little shots of them coming in to Jolly Harbour in Antigua. I did actually try to do some fishing in Antigua, but failed miserably, blanked out there as well. So I didn't bore you all with a blank, albeit from an absolutely beautiful location. But anyway, just cause, the RNLI. Hopefully none of you will ever need to use them, but we should be thankful that they are there if we do have to call them in an emergency at sea. Thank you. Well, it's 2 hours after low water, and the rainbows keep coming today with the showers. As the sun goes down, they get a little bit bigger. So now going right over the hill. Pot of gold over there somewhere for someone. Fishing, well, just had the 2 doggies in successive casts and the Rockling first cast, but other than that, been very quiet. But it's been a lovely day, lovely to be out. Beautiful part of the coastline here on the North Somerset coast. So yeah, I'm going to fish probably for another hour and a half or so, approaching darkness, and then probably give it a stop at that. Just enjoying this wonderful rainbow over Hurlston Point. I think the camera picks it up, but you can see there's quite a distinct tide line there, about 50-60 yards out, where the water is very coloured on the ebb. As it's probably pushing around the point, you can see as it goes toward Hurlston Point, that tide line pushes out further, probably to about 200 yards. So at the moment, just sort of my casting ability is just allowing me just to get the other side of that tide line there, where the water looks clearer. It's obviously very dirty close in. Hopefully there'll be some fish coming in to maybe feed on that tide line there. We'll wait and see. So I got a bite on the left hand rod here, just went very slack, so rounded in a bit. Looks like it's probably another doggy, so just going to bring that one in. Fish on. As I thought, another little doggy. Got snagged on the way in, so I had to pull for break and lost the weight. Obviously knowing that there was a fish on the line, so let's get this one hooked and put back. Well, it's coming to the end of the session. It's approaching 6 o'clock, so I've been fishing for about 6.5 hours. Tide is well on the way out now. Just lost another full set of tackle snagged at range. So certainly, what's my experience at Bossington, it's quite a snaggy mark, and I've lost, I think, 3 full sets of gear and at least another 4 weights on the rotten bottoms. So just something to be mindful of. I think generally if I have a good cast and I get it at that little bit further, then I can generally get that one back in. But if I have a poor cast, then maybe the chances are less. So 3 dogfish and a rockling first cast, which was nice to catch. So it's been a lovely day here at Bossington, some lovely rainbows. It's closing in again at the moment, big dark clouds overhead, so in the process of packing up. Thank you for all the people that watch and comment, and everybody who likes, and obviously appreciate everybody who subscribes. So until the next time, take care everybody, and remember, after the outro there'll be some footage from Antigua of my brother arriving in early March for having rowed the Atlantic with his rowing partner Dan. So all the best everyone, and if you can consider giving to the Just Giving cause, the RNLI, then that would be very much appreciated. Take care everyone, see you next time, bye now.
Well done, guys.
I've always wanted to say that, actually.
I've got some bad news for you about the rugby.
There's never bad news.
No, it has been. Trust me.
Well done, guys.
Come on, sweetheart, give me the